on for nearly a decade and what you need to know to keep your kitchen safe.
But first on 12 is one of Georgia's biggest investments to train entrepreneurs, and it's right here in our backyard at the Georgia Cyber Center.
The goal is to teach and provide resources for people looking to start up their own businesses. News 12's Brady Trapnell live tonight from Broad Street. And Brady, you say this program is helping people just like you and me get a business going.
Yeah, Meredith, anybody can join this program and put their talents and their ideas to the test, but they're trying to take these empty storefronts that we see all across Broad Street and hopefully turn them into successful businesses. You don't have to walk far from the Georgia Cyber Center to see the impacts of the pandemic.
It's been hard, still having to work a 9 to 5, still having to do things, of course, to pay the bills because the bills don't stop.
Shagrela Hammond is an entrepreneur, starting her own marketing and branding business, Shagrela Leanne & Co. But this summer, she's one of 25 people getting training from the clubhouse.
Everyone needs some type of help. Business is ever changing, it's always growing.
60 people applied to be a part of the clubhouse entrepreneur training program. Soldiers from Fort Gordon and even people right out of high school.
They either have a business now, they want to scale it up, or they have an idea and they want to start a business.
Grace Belangia is the co-founder of the clubhouse. She says this training effort will support 50 entrepreneurs in the region across potentially 44 counties. After 6 to 9 months, they will have access to funding.
That's part of the reason why businesses succeed, is because they have that financial safety net.
But they'll have the tools to succeed as well, learning business law and finance, all at the clubhouse, building an economic engine one business at a time.
You're not just creating a job, you're creating a job for you and possibly somebody else.
And at the end of May, the first classes will start, and they're actually taking applicants and continuing to take applicants for the foreseeable future over the next few weeks and throughout the summer, because they plan to do more of these classes in the years to come.
All right, thanks, Brady. A lot of people could benefit from this. Cyber, by the way, also on Congressman Rick Allen's mind today. We caught up with him after he toured Fort Gordon and its Cyber Center of Excellence earlier today. When we ask about growing cyber infrastructure even more in Augusta, he says it starts with upping our game in cyber education.
For example, a charter cyber school. Because obviously we got cyber graduates coming out of Augusta University and a very fine program there, but we're talking about these kids going right from high school right into cyber.
Richmond County already offers that kind of program to nearly 200 students through its Cyber Academy of Excellence. Congressman Allen says he wants to see the same concept, but expand that even further.
Much more news ahead, but let's check in now with First Alert meteorologist Anthony Carpino in for Riley this evening. And what a great day to be filling in. Wouldn't you rather be outside somewhere right now?
I would like to be out at the ballpark for a few minutes.
New this evening, a $5,000 reward being offered for information in a double murder of an elderly Augusta couple. Hilton and Jeanette Turner found shot to death inside their home off Hale Street back in February. Now their children are offering $5,000 to anyone who comes forward with information leading to an arrest in this case. So if you know anything, you're asked to call the Sheriff's Office at the number right there on the screen, 706-821-1020. Over the last 3 months, News 12 has covered 3 major child cruelty cases in Augusta. Most recently, just a couple of days ago, when a 4-year-old was admitted to the ICU.
Tonight, our Nick Proto is digging deeper into those cases.
The first case is from February 13th, when 1-year-old Travis Scott died. Both of his parents faced murder and cruelty to children charges, accused of turning off his ventilator despite doctors telling them not to. Then on April 21st, a 1-year-old is hospitalized with bleeding on his brain and a burn on his leg. The mother's boyfriend charged in that case. And now, just 2 days ago, a 4-year-old was sent to the ICU after his stepfather allegedly hit him. 3 major cases in our area in less than 3 months. We asked the experts how common these incidents really are.
1 child is dead, 2 more in the ICU, and 4 adults are in jail on child abuse charges in the last 3 months.
Does it strike me as particularly bad? Yes. But is it worse than what we've seen in the past 10 years? Not really.
Dr. Melissa B. Miller with AU says the CSRA is consistently above average when it comes to child abuse cases in Georgia. This chart shows abuse cases in our Georgia counties per 1,000 children. The highlighted numbers are rates above the state average. In our area, only Columbia, Emmanuel, Jefferson, and Washington counties have numbers consistently below the state average in the last 9 years. Dr. B. Miller says reported cases have gone down since the pandemic, but that doesn't mean abuse has decreased.
We get a lot of our knowledge about child abuse cases from mandated reporters. The eyes that we had on our children ceased to exist for a while.
She and her team are now tasked with lowering abuse cases in the CSRA. They plan to start a child abuse prevention course this year to help first responders and other mandatory reporters recognize early signs of child abuse. She says the numbers may get worse before they get better.
The more we increase knowledge of child abuse, the more we increase how to recognize what child abuse looks like, the more we increase the knowledge of how to report it, we will see an increase.
In Augusta, Nick Proto, on your side.
We have more information on child abuse prevention resources. We'll attach them to this story on WRDW.com and the WRDW app.
Well, between restoring old pieces of Augusta to bringing in brand new developments, downtown is growing every day.
It sure is. Today was the ribbon cutting on the old blue handkerchief factory on Ellis Street, which will now be used as family housing. News 12's Kennedy is live from Ellis Street. And Kennedy, after a year of shut doors, closures, it is so great to see new life downtown.
Yeah, that's right, Meredith. I mean, in the last year, Augusta has lost businesses, but we've gained businesses too. And between those new businesses and new housing developments like the one on Ellis Street behind me, it seems like downtown just continues to grow. And today, 12 new apartment units on Ellis Street officially opened, and the restored handkerchief factory already has 7 apartments leased. It's just one of the at least 5 new housing units in downtown Augusta that have opened within the last year or have plans to break ground soon. There's also been a number of restaurants and businesses opening in the last year as well. The Downtown Development Authority director says the projects thus far are exciting and a good step to increase the city's tax base. She says from here on out, we'll continue to see growth.
A lot of projects have been announced this week or that are still on the drawing boards. I think people are putting their budgets together and doing their design work. So I think you'll see some more cranes and dumpsters on Broad Street with the new construction.
And tonight at 11, we'll take a closer look at some of the new restaurants and businesses coming to downtown soon. Meredith?
All right, thanks, Kennedy. It's a bright and cheerful building, says Augusta. I love you on the bottom. It definitely is an eye catcher.
Cranes and dumpsters, I like the sound of that. Well, the city of North Augusta says it is now up to date on collecting taxes. We first told you last summer developers owed the city more than $800,000 in outstanding property taxes for Riverside Village. All that money now has been paid. Newly elected Mayor Britton Williams says he's looking forward to taking on new projects on North Augusta's riverfront.
We want to take a moment to clarify a story that we told you about yesterday. We said affordable housing would be coming to 4975 Hardy McManus Road in the near future. That's what public maps through Columbia County's website indicated, along with some previous reporting. But commissioners actually voted for the county to buy this land for $6 million, with plans to turn it into a public park. The vote took place March 30th. No further information was provided to the public, though, at that time. One of our local educators is a finalist for Georgia's Teacher of the Year. Michelle Mickens is an English teacher at Washington Wilkes Comprehensive High School. Today, she was announced as one of the state's top 10 finalists. Next, she'll meet with judges for a formal review and give a speech. The winner will be announced August 7th, so a big congratulations to Miss Mickens, and good luck.
We're the best in the state. That's good to see. Here at News 12, we work hard to bring you stories that matter to our community.
Today, our senior I-Team reporter Liz Owens, I-Team producer Lindsay Gardner, photojournalist Jasmine Garcia, and our station were honored with 2 of the most prestigious awards in journalism. Edward R. Murrow Awards for investigative journalism and for continuing coverage after uncovering a severe shortage of EMTs and paramedics in Aiken County.
Cardiac arrest. We need you to send ambulance immediately. Sir, you don't need to keep repeating you need an ambulance immediately. I need to know what's going on. What do you need cardiac arrest? Cardiac arrest.
Liz found EMS stations being shut down and people waiting for hours to get help after calling 911, sometimes with deadly consequences. The county had been ignoring warning signs for years and actually breaking some state laws.
But Liz will tell you the real award for us is exposing a problem here in the community and then putting things in motion to fix it. But we did want to say congratulations to everyone involved in telling that important story. And thanks to you, too, for trusting us to tell your stories.
We're going to be seeing some breathing.
Exploding ovens. It happened to an Evans woman when she used the self-cleaning cycle as directed. Puzzled, she reached out to the I-Team.
And the I-Team found it's been happening for nearly a decade with all different brands all over the country. Our I-Team's Laura Warren pressed consumer watchdogs to ask, why aren't you being warned about this too?
Alicia Baker was just trying to clean her Whirlpool oven when she got an even bigger mess.
It sounded like as if the oven would have been dropped from the second floor, that kind of boom, but also with shattering glass.
Surprising, because nothing was cooking except the oven itself.
My husband was running around trying to figure out what it was, and then all of a sudden I hear our oven exploded.
Alicia had turned on the self-cleaning option for the very first time after Googling instructions.
When I heard your oven exploded, I was in shock, because I had never heard of that before.
So she went to Google again.
When I Googled it after with the added oven exploding self-cleaning mode, there are other stories out there of it happening and with different brands.
She also took to Facebook and was surprised to see people in her friend network responding, saying it happened to them too. Her friend Carol writing her Kenmore was just on vape and the glass blew out all the way 15 feet into the dining room.
Hundreds of ovens to suddenly shatter.
The I-Team found story after story online, not just with Whirlpool and Kenmore, but with Bosch, KitchenAid, and others. The I-Team reached out to the Consumer Product Safety Commission after we found numerous complaints on their website. One dates back as far as 2011. Oven glass shattering from a Genair stove, a Thermador, and an Electrolux, all while on self-cleaning mode. But the I-Team found the agency has issued no warning or recall despite a decade of incidents. Our I-Team reached out and asked for an interview 2 weeks ago and received no response.
All right.
David O'Brien has made being a glass expert his business for 35 years. He owns O'Brien's Glass in Martinez and tells the I-Team he would never use the self-cleaning mode on his own oven.
I do not. I do not think that's wise at all.
Why? Because he paid attention to the type of glass and noticed it was tempered glass.
Tempered glass is a safety glass. The safety of it withstands a lot more of a hit.
But he says tempered glass is not designed to withstand high heat. Whirlpool told the I-Team they use tempered glass on their ovens. Online, we found oven manufacturers across the board are using tempered glass.
If you get a piece of tempered glass too close to anything over 480 degrees, it's going to shatter.
Whirlpool told us the self-cleaning cycle for ovens is extremely hot, between 800 to 850 degrees. Ovens with self-cleaning cycles are designed with extra insulation to help handle the heat. Online, GE Appliances documents their setting at 880 degrees Fahrenheit. That's right, nearly double the temperature O'Brien says is safe. In 2015, a nonprofit called the Safety Institute issued this request to the Consumer Product Safety Commission to investigate oven doors that shatter, even pushing for a recall of the Kenmore Model 790 ovens, based on more than 300 reported consumer complaints since March 2011. We also found a possible class action suit in August of last year, reading attorneys are not limiting their investigation to a single brand, as the oven doors may have all been manufactured by the same company or companies. The I-Team reached out to Whirlpool in Alicia Baker's case. A spokesman tells the I-Team in the rare event glass does break, Whirlpool Corporation ovens use tempered glass or similar safety glass designed to break safely inside the oven cavity. In its own analysis, the company says glass can shatter for a variety of different reasons, listing things like damage during shipping or installation or accidental impacts with cookware. Alicia says a replacement oven was $1,400.
Just as a warning that it can happen, just be aware that it can happen.
An expensive lesson she doesn't want you to have to learn the hard way. Laura Warren, News 12.
Now, to help avoid glass breakage, Whirlpool suggests do not close the oven door if the racks are not fully inserted into the oven or when bakeware extends over the rack. They also say do not set objects on the glass surface of the oven door. Also, do not hit the glass surface with bakeware or pans or any other objects. Do not wipe down the glass surfaces of the oven until it has cooled.
An eye-opener for a lot of families, I'm sure, as we give you a live look there, Calhoun Expressway next week. Okay, we do have a traffic update to pass along. I'm going to show you the scene from the Fury's Ferry Road accident. We've been telling you about an accident over that way, and boy, look at the bumper-to-bumper traffic. Columbia County Sheriff's Office says multiple lanes are blocked right now over on Fury's Ferry at Hardy McManus Road. We're working to get more details for you, but do avoid that area because the backup looks pretty severe over that way.
The wait continues tonight for more details in the investigation into the drownings of 2 men at Clarks Hill Lake. The GBI telling us they conducted autopsies for E.J. Kirk and Ian Wilson yesterday. We are waiting for those results to be released, as well as more information on the leads they say they are pursuing. We are not backing down from this story, and we'll bring you updates as soon as we get them.
But the death of those 2 men renewing the effort to teach people how to swim.
It's that season, of course, where more and more people are spending time in and around the water. And while we often think about getting our kids swimming lessons, Zana Halliburton tells us why adults are encouraged to enroll as well.
Dexter Price partnered with Aiken Parks and Rec to offer free swimming lessons this summer, hoping to save lives.
At the end of those courses, they're going to be safe at the end of that training. That's awesome.
Price says the recent drownings at Clarks Hill Lake really touched him and pushed him to team up with the city to offer swim lessons.
I don't know what happened that day, but I'm sure if the people on that boat had the ability to swim, I bet that the outcome would have been different. And that is a widespread problem in our community.
The YMCA is also seeing a lot of people of all ages signing up. Rachel Mills says a lot of what kids learn in these classes apply to adults.
Drink water, know your limitations, wear a life jacket, ask for permission, let people know where you're at. Don't just up and leave and go swimming by yourself.
Price says expanding lessons beyond just kids is necessary.
I think that it's just as important that adults take this class as kids take this class, because you never know whenever you're going to need the skills that are being learned in these trainings.
Zana Halliburton, on your side.
Coming up, the NAIA tournament continues in Columbia County. They're hoping to bring this thing back again and again, and Mike has more of the sights and sounds next.